everyone, welcome back to the channel. FPL Davecorp here. We've made it a norm that at least every week we make sure we review the preseason matches for all our main teams in the previous week. This is the same update that is coming up today. We'll be going through how the different teams have been performing, the different key assets that we are looking at, and obviously how it is shaping up or how it's affecting our team going forward. For starters, I think I'll first go through how my team still currently looks. It hasn't changed much from the last update of last week. As you can see, Kinski is still in goal, Guehi, Aina, and Mosquera in my defense. Palmer, who is someone that I'm looking at because his showings really are not impressive as we thought, but probably still getting back to full fitness. Recently rejoined the team, but Mbeumo I think has been shining and looking the much better option. Lefi, who's on set pieces and continues to look good, Grows as well, who's on set pieces and continues to look good. Soboslai obviously as well on set pieces and continues to look good throughout preseason. Then with my attack of Haaland, who is yet to play any preseason game with Manchester City, but Mamouche has been looking much more impressive. Like I mentioned, the numbers continue to increase. I think as of the last recording, to around 700 or 800 people that had registered, but now we can see that we're already coming up to 4 million. Last season were over 12 million, so I do expect that number to go much higher. So continue to register for the game and prepare your teams and continue to prepare as you get ahead, because this week we'll be having the curtain raiser for the Premier League, which is the Community Shield, and that is something that we do look ahead to. There's quite a number of other games still ongoing or that are still yet to be played. I think up to next week that we also need to continue monitoring. There are teams like Brighton that all of you need to also monitor, because they do have a Europa League qualifier game, I think, next week before Gameweek 1. So that is why I always say it's always important to keep track of all this information so that you're well aware of how the teams are performing, the matches they have before Gameweek 1 and all that. So going straight into our main teams, Manchester City did perform very well. It beat Atletico 3-1. Mamouche, like I mentioned earlier, did score a brace. Nori has also been shining in the preseason games. Like I mentioned, Haaland is yet to rejoin the team, but from the way it looks, even with them having their curtain raiser for the Community Shield this week with against Arsenal, I do not think Haaland may participate much. I'm thinking Mamouche will going to lead the line. That is something we monitor, because Haaland is yet to have any preseason matches played with his new teammates. That's something that we're going to monitor and is very crucial. Arsenal lost 3-2 against Borussia Dortmund. The key people obviously were Solis, like I mentioned, he assisted one of the goals. Gyökeres did have a goal from the spot, but one of the concerns we're having is the goals that they have conceded. That means they've conceded about 6 goals in the last 2 games. Should be worrying, but like Arsenal fans will say, it's pre-season and the team is still trying to gear, or their manager is trying out a few new things. But yeah, the Arsenal defense continues to worry, especially with very many of us banking on it. I do know very many people that have actually already gone for triple Arsenal defense. So that is something that you need to continue monitoring. Liverpool, I had already mentioned their defensive issues. They did concede 7, but obviously as of last night, they did add Araujo to their defense, so maybe that could bolster it. We can note that Alisson, Van Dijk, and Gakpo finally returned and also came back from his knock. So you do get to note that most of the teams' players that were, for example, in the World Cup are beginning to rejoin their teams, and now we get to see them line up as they should when the season does start. So some of these preseason games had weekend teams, so we may not go with the results much more, but yeah, that is something that you're going to note. In the other matches, Manchester United did play a game against PSG. Mbeumo did score for Manchester United. He continues to shine. Ahmad was also playing very, very well. Bruno and Dalot and all the other Portuguese rejoined the team as well last week. But yeah, Manchester United continues to look okay, especially with Mbeumo himself and Ahmad. They were all looking very good in the game. Chelsea did have 2 games. They had one against AC Milan and the one against JDT. They won AC Milan 3-0. I think Joao Pedro with the brace against AC Milan. Then he had scored the hat-trick earlier, so for him he continues to shine. But like I mentioned, Palmer is someone that I'm really monitoring and may end up removing from my team based on his previous performances. So there's still a few games, like I mentioned, they do play Real Sociedad over the weekend. Liverpool does have a game, I think, against Como tomorrow, and then they do have another on the weekend. So this week, I think, will be the final countdown to how we see the final teams, how they look, and how they're shaping up for the new season. Spurs did have a 1-1 draw with Getafe as well. They have been unbeaten throughout the entire preseason matches, including that Chelsea game where they were 10 men down, but still managed to pull out the win. Yeah, so we're going to monitor all of these. There's more other games that played. Brighton, I did watch that game. It looked very good. Jorginho Ruta, Ayari, I think all played very, very well. They had a very strong attack. Leeds continues to also look very good and impressive. Same applies to Newcastle. Bournemouth also did play, I think, Barcelona, if I'm not mistaken, but I do remember a good showing, especially from the attack from Bournemouth itself as well. We did have Ipswich winning also 3-1. Coventry 3-1. Everton was beaten by Stuttgart. That was a very tough test for them in Germany. So we continue to monitor all the games because we do have assets from all these different teams and different players. And that is something that's a very good defensive showing by Nottingham Forest. The attack is yet to kick in. But as you notice from my team, for example, I do have Aina. And most of the other people do also have defensive covers for Nottingham Forest. So we do continue to monitor and keep track of all of this. So how is this going to shape our game week 1? We're going to look at the ones with very strong positive signals, that is Joao Pedro, Vitz and Isak continue to shine for Liverpool. Apologies for the graphic there. Mamouche obviously as well for Manchester City, and Joker is back on the score sheet, I should say. He's obviously on the set pieces, the nail penalty taker, but I would also key to note would be Solis from Arsenal. Then Mbeumo obviously is also another person we're going to monitor. Bruno Fernandes himself. Haaland, we'll wait to see how he comes back from his break. Amad Diallo has been looking good as well. So Arsenal and Liverpool, as we mentioned, from the preseason games, there's some bit of defensive concern, but we'll wait for the Community Shield game to see how a full strength Arsenal lines up and also how Man City will line up. But I do believe Haaland may either come off the bench, but I don't think he will be starting. Then we continue to monitor other teams keenly. That's Brighton, Leeds. Those are some of the key teams because we have people like Dominic Calvert-Lewin, we have people like Minter. So all of these need to continuously be monitored as well as the Brentford attack. Yeah. So thank you very much for following. Remember to like, to subscribe, to share with your colleagues, and going to join the community. I will continue to bring for you a number of different mini leagues that you can be able to join in so that you can have fun this season. Otherwise, all the best and catch you next time. Thank you.